The Dallas Mavericks are obviously going to be in a postseason picture. I mean, we're talking about them potentially going up against the Clippers if all things end up being the way that they are at this particular moment in time. What chances would you guys give the Dallas Mavericks in a playoff series against the Los Angeles Clippers? I'm going to start with you, Jay.
Less than 5%. And, look, Luka is incredible. I think Kristaps, the way they played, I think they've had one hell of a season. I like the dynamic of their team. Their second unit has done phenomenal. I actually really enjoy watching Jalen Brunson play as well. I just think that the wings that the Clippers have, this is the same reason why I said that the Houston Rockets rather see the Lakers than see the Clippers. The wings between Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Patrick Beverley, Reggie Jackson, they throw people at you, continuous people and bodies at you to wear you down. Now, Luka is a phenomenal talent. I think the fact that they're in the playoffs at this stage of his career, I think he is ascending. Obviously, a guy who was in the MVP conversation before he had his injury. But I don't see them beating the Clippers at all, man. I don't think they don't have, even when I said the other day that, hey, Dame and CJ, the fact that they have a fighter's punch against the Lakers because those guys can drop 50 at any time, I don't see Luka being able to drop that amount of points because his game isn't suited the same way Dame's game is suited to beat a team that has the wings that can defend him continuously. So I don't see it.
I'll say this.
Yours,
I picked the Clippers preseason. I pick them now. I'll pick them when the season restarts. I'll pick them when the postseason starts. I like the Clippers to win the whole thing. But the Mavs are live. That's a bad first-round draw, I think, for anyone. Because not only is Luka playing at basically MVP level. He's not going to win the MVP, but he's playing on that level. A lot of years you could playing like Luka is playing right now. But people are forgetting about Kristaps Porzingis. At the time he got hurt, he was still getting better, much better. But his offense, which he's known for, was not nearly where his defense was. He was a defensive terror with the Knicks. You could see the entire other team's offense change when he was on the floor, and he liked playing defense. Back then, at least. And then his offense kept coming. He's got a shot. He can do, he is just so good at 7'3". He's 2 inches taller than Kareem and can take you off the dribble against another big and can defend in space, can defend the rim. So the real issue with him is getting healthy. And it usually takes a year to just get back to kind of where you were. This time off helps Kristaps. He needed time. Time was on his side if he gets it, right? He just got it. If Kristaps comes back a better version of the guy we saw toward the end of this season, you add that with Luka, they're live. That's a bad draw for anyone, in my opinion.
See, the thing for me, I'm caught in the middle because on one hand, I definitely give them better than a 5% chance that Jay gave the Mavs, but I don't go as far as you go, Max. Even though you consider them live, I give them a puncher's chance. What I'm saying is this. They're perimeter players, essentially. We know what Luka can do. We know what Kristaps Porzingis can do even from the perimeter because he's obviously a finesse player. He's 7'3", and he can really shoot. You ain't got to worry about nobody blocking his jump shot, okay? And then obviously you got Tim Hardaway Jr. He is averaging 15.8 points per game. He can hit some outside shots. I think in the sport of basketball, considering the soft manner in which the game is called in this day and age, I get it, Jay, in terms of their perimeter defenders. Kawhi, Paul George, Patrick Beverley, all those things are true. Please don't get me wrong. But I think if you can hit shots from the perimeter, you get hot, you can turn it into a 6-game series. That's where I'm going with it. That's why I say higher than 5%. I don't necessarily disagree with you, but anybody that can shoot the way they're capable of shooting when they get hot deserves better than 5%, Jay. What do you say to that?
So you think it's going to go 6 games, SA?
Say what? I couldn't hear you, Jay.
You think it's going to go 6 games? You think we'll have a 6-game series?
I said I think it's possible. I think if they got hot, it could go 6 games, yes. I would predict, if I had to bet my money, I'd predict
potentially.
I'd predict it would go 5.
Yeah, I say 5 too. My only thing about, and I hear you on the outside shooting though, but I don't think you have outside shooting potential when you play against a smothering defense like the Clippers. And I think that is my point to combat yours and a hot outside shooting that they could potentially have unless Luka just absolutely goes off. But then I would still like my chances of Patrick Beverley getting up underneath him, making things uncomfortable. And Max, as it relates to your point about Kristaps, I would say this. I do like those matchups when Kristaps has to go against other bigs like Rudy Gobert and guys like that who aren't as agile on the perimeter and he could put the ball down. Just know about that matchup though against Montrezl Harrell, who is an absolute beast, who has the energy of a Dennis Rodman, who runs everywhere, who is athletic, who will just really try to beat him up physically. That's a different type of matchup for Kristaps that I don't really see him having the same advantages because he doesn't play with his back against the basket down low on the block where he will have the advantage the majority of the game.
I'll say this about Kristaps. I believe if he can stay healthy, it's a big if at his size already with his injury history. If he can stay healthy, I think he's going to win an MVP in the future at some point. And I also believe this Dallas Mavericks team, if Luka and Kristaps stay healthy, are going to win a minimum of one championship. I would think multiple finals appearances. That's how much I think of Chris. Everyone thinks a lot of Luka. That's how much I think of a healthy Kristaps.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.